Hello guys and welcome to this first episode of Strassmayr training videos. My name is Jakub Kanarek and I would like to be your guide through these next 5 or 6 different chapters in which I would like to share with you our knowledge regarding the road maintenance technologies, try to explain to you as much as is possible about our different products, and also for all of those of you who already work with us since many years, these videos will be meant to kind of keep you up to date with whatever is new within our machinery. So all of these information that I will be showing to you in this kind of a webinar form, I hope it works well for you. If it doesn't work or you would like to see some changes, just feel free to comment it, let me know, because I'm doing this for the first time, but I think it's a good substitute with whatever we wanted to do to present to you by Strassmayr Technology Days. These Strassmayr Technology Days, they of course got cancelled because of the coronavirus outbreak, so in order to keep you up to date, I wanted to make this kind of video. So I would like to be I will be making these videos one by one, dedicated to different kinds of our products. So please please check for these new videos in the dealer portal, and they will be coming up soon. This first episode you are watching right now will be kind of dedicated to the new dealers of Strassmayr family. Of course, if you are our dealer since many years, maybe it's good to stay a little bit longer with me and kind of refresh some information. So in order to understand where our machines work in the road maintenance, I think we need to answer two most important questions, which are: what are the reasons of the road damages, and why the road needs the repair and the maintenance after all? And to understand those two questions and to answer properly, we need to get back to the basics and understand how that road construction looks like. So on this picture you see now, we have the typical cross-section of roads. We have to know that the roads can be either flexible pavements or rigid pavements. So the flexible pavements will be the biggest topic for our machinery. So the roads made from hot asphalt, gravels, grass and salt mixes, mostly asphalt roads. This is what is mostly seen in European roads. Of course, we have a few of our different products which work within the rigid roads department, which is, for example, the SFF milling machine or RWK joint and crack sealing machine. But for the purpose of the understanding what's the problem with the road maintenance, I'll try to stick more to the flexible pavement department. So on the right side of the screen, we see now how the flexible pavement cross-section looks like. So coming from the top, from the most important layer, we've got the surface course, which is then followed by binder course, base course, sub-base course, or compacted subgrade. The compacted subgrade will be just a compacted soil. And we have to understand at this moment that the surface course will be the most important layer of all, as it has to transfer the highest amount of energies, but also has to keep the lower layers secure from the penetration of water. The water penetration which reaches the lower layer will soften the sub-base, making the road be damaged at a bigger area than ever. So why flexible pavements? Why are they called flexible pavements? This is because they will have the tendency to flex in two different axes. They will flex in the horizontal axis, mostly because of the temperature changes, so the road will shrink in the night time when it's colder, and during the daytime it will expand, making the road even crack. Then it will flex also in the vertical axis. So these forces will be acted upon the surface mostly because of the stresses done by the wheels, by the tires of the trucks, by the tires of any car. And at this moment we have to remember that the most roads which were made 20 years ago, 10, 20, 30 years ago, they were not designed to handle the amount of trucks they are seeing these days. So much lower capacities were seen in the 20 years before. Now, with the amount of cars we're traveling, with the amount of heavy loads, these roads will have the tendency to flex to the moment until the cracks start getting shown on the top of the surface. So horizontal stresses will be also acted upon the road surface a little bit because of the tires, especially on the tight turns. But I would say the biggest problem with the road degradation would be the horizontal stress. Within the horizontal stress, it would be the shrinking and expansions of the asphalt layer due to the changes of the temperatures, especially in Europe, where we have a big gradient of temperatures within the 24 hours every day. So what happens when the water penetrates a small cracked surface? I will get back to this picture later, but this one is the most important and kind of, in my opinion, works best for the imagination. Imagine what happens when the rain is filling the cracks on the road surface, and then the wheels of the cars, of the trucks are passing through this water, pushing the water inside at high force and making this crack expand like kind of a hydraulic cylinder. We say that 70-75% of the roads which were not crack sealed, which were not maintained properly, for the moment you see the first crack, the 70% of those cracks will become potholes within the 2 first years. And let me say that the crack sealing is the cheapest way, but you have to maintain the road in good shape, but you have to remember and understand and plan the job before actually something bad happens. Usually we will see that the people don't care about the cracks, and later we'll just have used different technologies, much less cost efficient, like asphalt mixtures, repairs with a hot asphalt mixture, or even milling the full road and repaving it with a paving machine. So please remember that the sooner we act, the cheaper it will be. A crack which is recognized very early will demand about 100-150 grams of crack sealing material, where 150 grams per 1 meter. And 1 kilogram of crack sealing material is just €1. So imagine how cheap it is to prolong the life of the road with only this simple job. But I will get to the crack sealing later on with the next episode. Here we try to understand why the roads get damaged anyway. So this is what happens when the road fills the crack and then the car drives over it. Next, of course, the water can freeze, especially in the daytime in Europe. And if it freezes, then the tensile stresses will rip apart the top surface of the road. Now, another process which needs to be covered is the process of road oxidation. On the left side, you see this fresh asphalt, which is in the black color. Of course, this process starts as soon as the road gets paved. Fresh asphalt is always flexible, but with the time it will lose its ability to bend, and it will lose its color also. It will become gray. So then it will become brittle and very prone and easily cracked. The surface will easily crack then. Another picture showing us the difference between a fresh asphalt and a little bit dirty old asphalt layer. And then, of course, a picture just for jokes. This will probably not happen. It was an earthquake or something like that, but just for you to keep in mind that if we don't act quickly enough, the cracks will become potholes. So I think that's enough in very short words about the road construction. But then, in order not to make too many mistakes with our customers, I want to show you a little bit of differences within the materials, because the different namings can be confusing from time to time. So on this picture we see what's called the hot asphalt mixture. This material is produced in that kind of machines, which Strassmayr is also offering since beginning of this year. These are the asphalt batch mix plants. So this is hot asphalt mixture, which is, according to the latest technologies, of course, it should be paved with a paving machine like the one seen on the picture here. This is the highest quality of the road construction when we speak about the 2 first layers. This is hot asphalt mixture, and to be built, the hot asphalt mixture consists of 3 different things. It consists of bitumen, which can mistakenly be called also asphalt. So that's where I want you to really focus. Bitumen can be also called asphalt, but this is called an asphalt mixture. Hot asphalt mixture, warm asphalt mixture, we'll get back to that as well. But bitumen is a highly viscous liquid. It is a product of petroleum, so an oil product. It requires very high temperature in order to become viscous, so it's not very ecologically friendly. And this is why I would like to show you the material which will be mostly seen by the road maintenance. And this material is the bitumen emulsion, much more modern product which requires less amount of energy to be heated up. Basically, in order to recognize it, we just have to see the differences in color. When it's fresh and the process of breaking didn't start, the emulsion will be brown. And at the room temperature, most of these bitumen emulsions, they will have the viscosity similar to water. Some maintenance processes require us to heat it up until 60-65 Celsius degrees, but basically the viscosity is similar to water, not like bitumen. Bitumen is a very thick material. Now these bitumen emulsions, what can I say? In order to explain to you what this material is, maybe I'll try to use the presentation that was sent to me some time ago by our shareholder company Masenza. These guys are long-time friends of ours. They produce bitumen handling equipment in Italy since more than 60 years. Feel free to check their webpage for more information. Bitumen emulsion plants, polymer modified emulsion plants, and many more. So, what are the bitumen emulsions? In simple words, the general definition is that it's a mixture of two immiscible liquids, bitumen and water. They are immiscible since, like I said before, the bitumen is an oil product. An oil product don't mix with water. We know that since we've been in high school, yeah? Many times, or even in the primary school, we already learned that the oils don't mix well with the water. So the bitumen is dispersed in the continuous water phase in form of fine little droplets. And here's a close-up view of how they look like. These bitumen droplets, they are kind of mixed with the water, but they are keeping their form thanks to the emulsifier. And in this moment, what I said about the barrier, you can see on the right side, the bitumen droplet is kind of keeping its shape to the polar barrier around its edges. We have to know that two main different kinds of emulsifier will be used. So we will have the cationic emulsifier and the anionic emulsifier, and depending on what kind of stone we want to be used later on with the emulsion, we have to get the proper type of the emulsifiers. I would say that most of the stones that are used nowadays in the road maintenance will be silica-based stones. For example, silica-based stones will have the anionic load on their surface, anionic charge. And in order for the bitumen emulsion, for these little droplets to break on the surface of the aggregate, the emulsion has to have the positive charge on its surface. Then only these two products will cooperate together well. Now, this is what I said about the cationic and anionic emulsions, different charges around its edges. We know why. Here we will see exactly why it is stable. So the electrostatic field between those charges makes sure that these fine droplets stay separated from the water. But by the look of the eye, this bitumen emulsion mixture will look like it's a homogenic mixture. And we may say it is, but those fine droplets are separated from the water, and that helps us a lot in the process of road maintenance. So what are these emulsions used for? Maybe before going to the main uses, I would also like to mention that these bitumen emulsions, they are split into three different main kinds. Of course, there are many more different additives we can add to rubberize or polymerize the bitumen emulsion, but they are mostly split into three different kinds. So the first one is a rapid setting emulsion, medium setting emulsion, and the slow setting emulsion. And the setting here, the word setting, means the time that the emulsion needs in order to start breaking water since touching the aggregate. So the rapid setting emulsion, while getting in contact with the aggregate, will quickly start to evaporate water, and the bitumen will surround the aggregates, the surface of the little stones. Medium setting emulsion will take more time, so over 4 minutes, and the long setting emulsion will take more time, over 7 or 8 minutes, in order to start the process of breaking of emulsion. And when this starts, this bitumen emulsion will become bitumen after the time the water will evaporate. So where are they used? For example, tuck coat, which is one of the most important technological demands nowadays by the road construction. The tuck coat is a kind of a glue layer which is connecting the wearing course with the base course, or also with the road base course. Many studies have found that these two surfaces have to be glued in order to have higher strength. So we see how they flex or bend if the surfaces are not glued. Just use a little bit of bitumen emulsion, make it evaporate water within the short time, and then these forces will be shared between those panels, those courses. So much higher capacity for the road by the use of the tuck coat. The next example is the surface dressing. So for example, spreading the emulsion by a special emulsion distributor and then spreading the chip layer with a tipper. This is an old drawing. We say our 6000 covers this job by one machine, also eliminating different problems of this process that you see on the picture, but I will cover this later in the episode, designed in the episode in which I will say more a little about the R6000. So surface dressing is the process of the surface. So surface dressing is the process of sealing the top asphalt layer with emulsion and the chips. It is designed for roads which already develop cracked on the full width of the roads, and its job is to stop to prevent from the water penetrating the lower layers. So quick process. We can see it in many different countries. It's not so clean. I would say it cannot be used on highways. For highways, we've got the slurry seal or the microsurfacing machines, but on the right side you see more or less how the process looks like. So in first stage we've got the bitumen emulsion spraying and then spreading of the chips. It would be good also in order to create the kind of a good closure between the stones for them to be rolled with the rubber tires. I will cover more in the next episode. Now, cold recycling is a process that we are not very fond of. We find that this is not the highest quality of the road maintenance, but yes, the bitumen emulsions are used there as well. Now, the pothole reparation, called blow patching technology, or in the United States, an injection pothole patching. Now, this process is the most popular for using the bitumen emulsion with a short breaking time, and that helps us to repair the potholes within 5 minutes, whereas in the technologies of hot asphalt mixture we need 4 or 5 people hot asphalt mixture. We cannot stop the work, because if we stop the work we have to throw out the hot asphalt mixture and so on. But thanks to the bitumen emulsion and thanks to that we developed the bitumen emulsion in such a way that it can start evaporate water very quickly after dutching of the stones. By the special machine we are able to fix potholes with only 1 to 2 people in as less as few minutes. And I will be covering a different episode also about our blow patchers, about different models of our blow patchers, and what are the news within these technology that we have invented together with our technology department. So once again, cold mixes, slurry seal, where we use the bitumen emulsion together with the cement, together with other additives which help us control the time of breaking. And this is a very clean process. Strassmayr has a machine since also beginning of this year. We are offering a slurry seal unit, the Strassmayr STR S8000 and 12000, 2 different models. Also wait for another episode where I will cover these both machines. Penetration, prime coat, also in order to make the macadam layer a little bit stronger, we can put more than 2 kilograms per square meter of emulsion and make it penetrate the lower layers. Here we will need the longer setting time of this emulsion in order to penetrate the layers and then stiffen up and then evaporate the water and make this first layer just simply stronger. Many more. Short few words about the manufacturing process. We use two different energies, mechanical and chemical. So we use the mill to provide the mechanical energy, and we use the emulsifiers to provide the chemical energy and to create these barriers around the loads of around the electrons, around the bitumen droplets. Now this is how the colloidal mill looks like. We put the water phase with already dispersed emulsifiers, then we mix it with bitumen phase for very fine droplets. So the typical size of these droplets will be between 1 to 20 microns. Most of them will be between 2 to 4 microns. And the output is bitumen emulsion, a very stable product which can be stored for even more than 3 months before it's used. But then make sure to mix it in your bin or whatever you're storing it at. This is a complete factory. If you want more, like I said, you can feel free to watch the Masenza website and contact with these guys. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to mention you one more material which you will also find by the discussions with our customers. This is what you see here is called the bitumen mastic. This is a crack sealing material. It is specially designed, also based on the bitumen, but thanks to the addition of special polymers and special fillers, this material will be very rubber-like, and it is designed to seal the cracks as tightly as possible, and also to flex and work with the rods. So at each temperature that you can imagine, this material will stay flexible, and it will kind of hold the structure of both cracks very strongly. This is how our machine looks like. It is designed to specially prepare these blocks of materials which are in a solid form of blocks when you buy them. So we need a special technology and special mixing machine for them in order to make a homogenic mixture, which then allows us to put it into the cracks or into joints if you are working, for example, by the concrete roads. I have a sample here with me. This is Acoplast N2. This is the material which was provided to us by the company Interdesco from France. They are a producer of crack sealing materials and many more resin products and so on and so on. And this is a sample of sealing of the joint of concrete blocks. I don't know if you will see that, but you can apply a really high force to it. It never can be ripped apart, and it goes back to its natural shape. Also, if you want to find out more about these products, feel free to join the website, to enter the website of company Interdesco. We have together exported many kilograms of materials around the world. So this material, once again, it's called a bitumen mastic. In Germany, there's a producer who calls it biguma. France, it's called mastic. But for me, the most recognizable name is just a crack sealing material. So then everybody understands you well. Let me see if there is anything else I would like to show to you. Crack sealing. I showed you a little bit about how the machine looks like. Here's how the process looks like. So you see here those two gentlemen crack sealing in France. This is the highest technology that we have seen within Europe. This crack was first heated up by the hot air lines up to 800 with 800 Celsius degrees hot flame. Now it is sealed tightly with this crack sealing material. And what you will see that this man on the left side with this nozzle, you may wonder what he's doing. He's just spreading the sand with a special sand distributor. So that's how he provides the traction in the wet conditions, especially for the motorcyclist. A little bit more about that in the next episode, but I think that for the sake of coming back to the basics, this would be it. Feel free to ask us for anything that you like. I will be honored to answer you. So thank you for joining me in this episode. and we'll see each other in the next episode, which will be dedicated to the technology of blow patching. Thank you very much and see you later. Bye.